Good afternoon, Commissioner Director Robinson. My name is Raj Boprai, and I'm actively serving as the co-chairperson of the Youth Advisory Council. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to have this conversation with me. As a council, our purpose of having this interview was to help and understand what your means and strategies were for assisting those impacted by Hurricane Ida, enabling us to take that information and use it to create like a common understanding amongst the youth. I'd like to start with a basic but really important question, and that is, what are your responsibilities as Commissioner Director of Somerset County?
My responsibilities as Commissioner Director, one is ex officio, meaning I can oversee all the areas and departments and divisions, a liaison to all the constitutional officers, which are your surrogate, your sheriff, and your prosecutor's office. I oversee weights and measures, finance. I'm on the finance committee, making sure that the meetings flow properly. Awesome responsibility, but also enjoy doing it.
What have you and the county alike learned in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida?
I think it has shown a bright light on some of the areas that we need to pay more attention to. Housing. How do we also get the services to the people who are in need the most? Somerville is central to the county. However, due to a lack of transportation, getting those services to the people that are in need is an area or deficit where we can do better in closing that gap. Everyone is not on social media. Everyone doesn't look at printed media as such as a newspaper. So we have to make sure that we're tapping into all those areas. And I think trying to get that information out as quick as possible is a challenge.
Okay, I see. So you mentioned housing and transportation. And so, what are the goals for Somerset County when dealing with the next natural disaster if it were to occur in the future?
Part of that debrief that we had, the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, was looking at how do we then make sure that every stakeholder from every municipality, the emergency management coordinators, police officers, any stakeholder with human and social services are in the room and we're all having a conversation about what it is that we need to do. With my military background, debriefing for me would be twice a day minimum.
Okay.
As information changes, you want to be able to have all stakeholders have that information and disseminate it as quickly as possible.
All right. And so President Joe Biden, obviously seeing the unforgettable impact of Hurricane Ida, had come to visit Somerset County, specifically Manville. Would you be able to provide a brief summary of what that meant to the county and also, what his visit meant in terms of the response that our county would have?
Sure. So, in summary, the visit was not only for him to see firsthand the devastation that our residents had gone through, but also to let him know that who we are and how we approached the emergency management of dealing with Ida. And so having him visit here and talking to him and giving him at high level the devastation that we had gone through as a county, as a community together.
Okay, I see. So you mentioned some of the money that we've already allocated. And so just to extend on that, how has the Hurricane Ida relief money been allocated till today?
Providing temporary shelter for those that were displaced, food vouchers, working with FEMA, Red Cross, our emergency management, human services, and social services department. And now it's the long term. There are some people, like I said, that would never be able to go back into their homes. Then now we transition them into a more permanent situation.
I see. So once certain things were accomplished that were prioritized, the county then moved on to achieve more smaller goals or long-term goals?
Yes.
Okay, and so another question that I had is, what programs or resources are available to those who are victims of Hurricane Ida?
Certainly, we have put our resources with boots on the ground, making sure that we were meeting people where they were. They didn't have to come to the county to help them apply for FEMA dollars, helping them get through where resources were beyond or outside of the scope of the county. So being that conduit of information and getting them the right resources that they need.
Okay, I see. So we touched a bit on what has already been accomplished.
Mhm.
So from today onwards, what still has, yet to be accomplished?
Well, as you know, climate change is a thing. It's real. It's out there. How do we move forward from that? Whether it's a long-term plan for flood mitigation, that's yet to be determined. Then there is a plan to work with, say, a Corps of Engineer. If that is the case, if flood mitigation is the right way to go for a particular area or areas.
Segmenting to some of my final thoughts here, are there any words or messages that you have as advice for the youth council, advice for the youth in terms of, motivation and to keep inspiring a determination to fulfill the needs of the people?
Never give up. Um, Anything that you do outside of yourself and what you do for others is a lifelong commitment um, of service, of being on a mission to making sure that everyone is taken care of. You guys have the energy, you have the momentum and the movement. And I love quotes, so I leave with this thought: do not ask of others what you are not willing to do yourself. So, this is not a spectator sport, but this is a sport where all can be active and come off the bench and play a pivotal role in uplifting and moving our communities forward.
All right, well, that was really impactful. Thank you so much, Commissioner Director Robinson, for your time here today. And I'll make sure to convey your message of energy, momentum, and movement to my fellow youth council members and hopefully the rest of the youth in Somerset County. And once again, thank you so much for your time and the insight that you gave to me.
Thank you, Raj, for your leadership, and I hope to be voting for you one day.